Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94 here, back with another reaction video. Today, we finna react top 20 cartoons you should never watch in front of your parents. Ooh, I got plenty of them. There was a show on Showtime called Mr. Hell Show. Definitely shouldn't have been watching that. I remember Eminem used to have a cartoon. Eminem used to have a cartoon that was like super OD. Like, yo, that shit was wild. Obviously, you know the ones, South Park, obvious. Um, wouldn't say Family Guy. Family Guy, I wouldn't dare say that one. Um, this show right here, Drawn Together, definitely was not supposed to be watching this show. Boondocks to a certain extent. To a certain extent, Boondocks. Aqua Teen Hunger Force for sure. Yeah, there wasn't really that much cartoons that was like, yo, you really shouldn't be watching that. Like the rest of the cartoons, it was like whatever. But anyways, let's get right into this.
No one can stop me! Soon I will eradicate every offensive cartoon in the universe until it's the happiest place on Earth!
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 cartoons you should never watch in front of your parents.
You have a really big mouth.
Thank you, I think.
For this list, we'll be looking at the edgiest and most mature animated shows that you wouldn't want to watch on the family TV. Which of these adult shows were you banned from watching when you were younger? Let us know in the comments below. Number 20, Ren and Stimpy Adult Party Cartoon.
I would never in my life watch Ren and Stimpy. Like, I'm not watching no show where they licking each other booties and doing gay shit to each other. Fuck out of here.
We made it, Stimpy! No more eating filthy socks out of garbage cans!
The duo of Ren and Stimpy first raised eyebrows with their self-titled show on children's network Nickelodeon. It was full of rude violence, innuendos, and plenty of gross bodily functions. Writers and animators were somehow able to make the show even harder to watch when it returned as Ren and Stimpy Adult Party Cartoon. This program tripled down on the disgusting animation and gross-out gags. If they could somehow get past the gross imagery, the constant cartoon violence the lead duo suffered might push parents to change the channel. This mature franchise revival was clearly not worried about pushing the boundaries of good taste.
You monster! How can you say those horrible things?
Number 19, F is for Family.
Oh my god, I just had the worst dream. You were having another kid. Maureen's the last one, right? Tell me she's the last one.
Despite being a comedy centered on a family misadventures, it's probably best to watch this when you're alone. Bill Burr stars as an abrasive dad living in the 1970s who isn't afraid to lash out at people around him with coarse language and offensive observations. Since his kids take after their dad, viewers will often hear mature things coming from surprisingly young voices. Outside of the language, there's tons of references to illicit substances placed throughout the episodes. The show's realistic exploration of married couples going through hard times might also not be appealing to parents. While F may be family, it also stands for forget about watching this with everyone at home.
Dad, it's so cool when you scream at other people.
My little girl's eye is more important than some crazy old man's foot. He's fine.
He died, Dad.
Number 18, Harley Quinn.
With the Justice League missing and no sign of Batman, we are all just pawns in the hands of a murderous psychopath.
If you want a max show with DC Comics characters that's safe for all ages, watch Adventures with Superman instead of the very adult Harley Quinn. The anti-heroine show has its fair share of mature gags and scandalous scenes, but what really might put parents off is the extremely high amount of violence.
My God, I did not know her head would pop off.
Characters have been tormented by the Joker, lost their heads to Harley, and been slain in practically every way imaginable by King Shark. Fans estimate that over 7,000 living beings have perished over the course of the show's first 3 seasons. With the body count likely to grow, it's best to ask anyone you're watching with how they feel about non-stop violence before diving into this fantastic and bloody DC parody.
Gotham is in complete chaos.
It's so beautiful.
Number 17, Archer. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to watch this show with people who raised you without throwing in the towel. This hilarious spy series is full to the brim with self-referential humor, great running gags, and shots at genre cliches. But it also has a lot of adult encounters. Not only are the characters often scantily clad, but characters like Dr. Krieger often make explicit references to bizarre bedroom activities.
How did you forget that?
I guess I was busy fantasizing about Archer and Lana having intercourse.
There's also a good deal of realistic injuries that are played for laughs and brutal deaths used as punchlines. Instead of wading through this mature minefield, it's best to put on a less risque spy comedy during the next familial gathering.
I had something for this too. Damn it. Eat grenades, stupids.
Oh, well, now what?
Number 16, Metalocalypse.
Gentlemen, you've been receiving death threats from some of your fans. So they're gonna die?
We had a feeling that an Adult Swim show about a heavy metal band named Deathclock was going to be hardcore. But even if everyone in your family is accepting of the musical genre, they might have trouble with the bizarre and brutal imagery. While some of the harsh animation is symbolic, plenty of characters get some savage wounds. Deathclock fans have it the worst by far. In any given concert, it's almost a guarantee that at least one spectator will die in a horrific way. There's been so many deaths during the series that it's a miracle people are still around to buy tickets. It might be best to steer your parents away from the absolute onslaught of carnage featured on Metalocalypse.
We have brought metal and economic strength back into your putrid black and Midwestern hell world. Please enjoy the ride.
Number 15, Aeon Flux.
Stop! There's a pain in my back.
Can you describe it in words?
What?
I want you to tell me about the pain.
This dystopian animated series raises a lot of moral and ethical questions about censorship and oppression. However, parents might not be able to see the depth of the program through the show's adult elements. Throughout the program, lead heroine Aeon Flux is highly oversexualized. She's often either drawn in a mature way or just finds herself in very compromising situations. And Aeon is far from the only character treated this way. Even without the sexual content, the absurd art style of the series won't appeal to everyone in the living room. As much as we love Aeon's adventures, we're not quite ready to introduce her to our parents.
Aeon Flux, stop and think! It could have changed everything!
Number 14, The Boys presents Diabolical.
This is it. Our parents' addresses. Boombox! Give me some violent montage music.
Since this cartoon is an anthology series, each episode has a different reason why you shouldn't share it with your parents. One episode literally focuses on toilet humor by telling a story of a girl who hangs out with sentient waste. Multiple narratives show so-called superheroes committing graphic amounts of violence against non-powered individuals.
You know, friend, it's hard to hold a gun when it's 500 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, you idiot, Alexa!
However, the worst one of all to watch at home is an episode where a disgruntled group slays all of their parents. While there are a couple of stories that could be accepted by everyone, it will be impossible to watch the entire series without running into one scene that will raise your family's eyebrows.
Instead, I want to kill the small bit of meat that's in you.
What?
Number 13, Stripperella.
Evildoers, prepare to become evil don'ters. Do you mind?
Just in case the title didn't make it obvious enough, this show was firmly aimed at adult audiences. The animated program follows an adult dancer named Erotica Jones, who moonlights as a superhero named Stripperella. Since most of the show is focused on giving viewers an eyeful of the heroine, we can't imagine this could be comfortable to watch with parents. Outside of the mature camera work, the show is packed with adult jokes and innuendos. There are plenty of sharp jokes and great parody bits hiding underneath the surface of the racy content, but you might get strange looks if you choose Stripperella as your family's entertainment.
You a freaky ass nigga! Gotta go. I'll be right back.
Number 12, Super Jail.
Wow, this one must be good. Look at them all lining up to get in.
No, it's terrible, sir. This is where we process all the new inmates. But with Super Jail already stuffed to capacity, there's no place to put them all.
Within the walls of this animated prison, senior staff members subject the residents to a wide variety of inhumane punishments. If the sound of that premise alone doesn't scare your parents away, they'll probably run as soon as they watch a single second of it. It's astonishing how much gore the show is able to fit into 11-minute segments. Every time it seems like the program will run out of ways to kill off characters, they'll shock you with an even more depraved death. Although there is a narrative connecting all of the grotesque imagery and brutality together, we doubt many families will be willing to listen to the explanation that justifies all the violence.
Ah, you madman!
Guilty as charged.
Number 11, Rick and Morty. Although this sci-fi parody is no stranger to violent scenes, it's the show's habit of diving headfirst into taboo topics that makes it unlikely for the family TV.
Look, I just want to be clean. I feel dirty after everything that's happened.
Characters joke about hot-button issues like religion and geopolitical conflicts that are usually avoided at the dinner table. The dysfunctional main family also has many discussions about divorce and extended abandonment. Speaking of the Smith clan, the series has put the family members into such boundary-pushing situations with each other that we can't discuss the details here. If you're unsure what we mean, trust us when we say you don't want to explain Naruto to your folks. You're better off portaling away to another show on your list.
That's exactly what it looks like, yes. Congrats, man. I see the resemblance.
Form the energy sword! Activate the goddamn sword!
Oh man, the sword!
Number 10. The Boondocks. Satire has a way of making people feel uncomfortable. If your parents can't handle a raw satirical comedy about American society, this show is not for them.
How many times have I told you you better not even dream about telling white folk the truth?
The show is based on a comic strip about a black family moving to the predominantly white suburbs. While in their new setting, the Boondocks roast social issues, pop culture, and contemporary trends. It also makes sure to address many of the problems black people face in America. As the show gained popularity, its sharp criticism of racial and political issues also attracted plenty of controversy. The language alone will make some viewers cringe. Only families willing to look at serious subject matter in a real way should hang out in the Boondocks.
666? Man, doesn't that offend you?
I love this kid.
Number 9. Spawn.
Listen, old man. The government taught me how to fight, how to kill. It's all I got left. If you don't have the stomach for it, get the hell out of here.
There are few adult superhero shows that come close to being as bleak and graphic as this beloved classic. In a city teeming with sadistic villains and criminals, Spawn endeavors to take out the worst of the trash with harsh and often deadly means. While the main hero is otherworldly, the imagery is incredibly realistic. That's why you might find it hard to convince everyone at home to gather around for a series full of good and bad people suffering. It'll also be a no-go for your folks if they're not a fan of seeing the outsides and insides of human anatomy. Admittedly, Spawn wasn't exactly made for all audiences, so we wouldn't recommend trying to make required viewing after family game night.
This world isn't about trust. It's about dominance and submission.
Number 8. Robot Chicken.
I forgot about Robot
This
Chicken.
is absurd sketch comedy at its finest. Unfortunately, parents may not appreciate the show's crude language and dark, disturbing humor. With rapid-fire sketches on sex, death, cannibalism, and more, you will be hard-pressed to find a taboo subject that Robot Chicken hasn't touched on. The fact that each segment can feature extremely mature and warped versions of popular characters doesn't help either.
My name is Dora the Explorer, and I fear this mountain will be my grave.
While the pop culture references are great, it may put off older audiences who don't want to see their favorite icons exaggerated. Overall, if you're a child, a parent, or an adult who takes things too seriously, you should probably stay away from this show.
Wow, that doesn't sound Oscar-worthy at all.
That's how I felt.
I guess I don't have to rent it.
Number 7. Big Mouth.
Knock, knock. Who's there? It's the hormone monster.
Going through puberty is awkward enough, but watching a show about it with your parents might be even worse. This Netflix animated comedy is based on the creator's own tween years, growing up in the suburbs of New York City. The characters deal with the embarrassments of puberty and their giant hormone monsters. These beings endorse their allies to watch adult entertainment, make out, and explore their own bodies. The show also features frank discussions on sexuality, with plenty of humor and images to go along with them. While the show is full of awkward scenes, the ones about getting intimate with oneself top the list of those you don't want to watch with mom and dad.
Jesse.
What?
Let's play Do the Thing again.
Ugh, I don't know if I want to play. I'm not great at that game.
Number 6. Family Guy.
Hi there, I'm Peter Griffin, and you're watching PTV, where you get to watch your favorite shows as nature intended them, with all the sex, violence, swearing, and farts intact.
When it comes to shows accessible on primetime television, this one's a parent's nightmare. Although the satirical animated series is a hit among viewers, its twisted, dark humor and political incorrectness are too offensive for some, and has been a target of angry adults since its beginnings. At one point, the Parents Television Council even urged Fox to cancel the show. The group has even named multiple episodes the worst TV show of the week. So if you want to keep your parents pleased and proud of you, avoid watching the show with the family after a nice Sunday dinner.
So, what do you think?
I'm not sure, Peter. You gotta be careful about what you put on your network. You know how impressionable children are.
Number 5. Drawn Together.
Yep.
This cartoon is not for the faint of heart.
Not at all.
Best known for its shock comedy, this was advertised as the first ever animated parody of reality TV shows. Drawn Together covers a whole list of uncomfortable topics such as racism, murder, mental illness, and sexuality, just to name a few.
Tumor? Racism? Ugh. Dr. Waldor, are you just making up words again?
Since it bluntly addresses real-life issues and pushes, or rather blows right past boundaries, some may find this show quite offensive. The show also allows its characters to get very, very physical. All the overt sexual scenes would make watching this show with your parents super uncomfortable, let alone everything else that makes this comedy so crude.
I should have known you would mock me. Life is just one big, mildly amusing cartoon to you guys.
Number 4, Beavis and Butthead.
I forgot about Beavis and Butthead.
Let's burn something.
We're out of kerosene.
Got any more glue?
One of the original satirical cartoons, this show had a major influence on youth in the 90s, and it was rarely a good one. MTV ultimately aired this show with a disclaimer at the beginning of each episode, which hilariously demeaned the characters and clarified that viewers should not emulate them. Beavis and Butthead are destructive teens who are into sex, drugs, metal, violence, and death. They are crude, sexist, and twisted, with a very immature shared sense of humor. We're not saying don't watch it, we're just saying save it until after the folks have gone to bed. The sheer stupidity of these guys might cause your parents to question your morals.
Breaking the law, breaking the law. Let's burn something.
Number 3, Mr. Pickles.
Ooh.
Some people have trouble wrapping their minds around this one. Although the show is about a cute dog, it is the opposite of family-friendly. Mr. Pickles is a satanic border collie who enjoys committing horrific acts of violence and keeping macabre trophies. The sex, gore, dark humor, and crass subject matter make this horror cartoon comedy too extreme for many viewers, especially moms and dads. Do yourself and your parents a favor and don't get caught watching this show. No matter how old you are, your parents will likely be totally disturbed and disappointed in you.
Mr. Pickles is evil! I've seen him drag people into his doghouse.
Oh, it can't be.
It's true! He keeps prisoners in there!
The pie is gone!
Number 2, Happy Tree Friends. Hopefully, no child has stumbled upon this show while watching Netflix. This dark horror comedy would traumatize little kids while seriously disturbing and angering parents. The show even had a disclaimer warning that the cartoon violence was not recommended for small children and big babies. Happy Tree Friends is about a group of cute forest animals who end up experiencing graphic violence and death on a daily basis. These animals get dismembered, decapitated, and killed in the most horrific and gory ways. While you may find the show to be hilarious, your parents probably won't.
Who else wants to go to China and get some of their money?
For a show that offends many, it sure is a hit. This cartoon is so offensive, it has a disclaimer at the beginning of each episode. Brilliantly satirical and notorious for pushing boundaries on TV with its dark humor, South Park makes fun of relevant but usually taboo or politically incorrect topics. It has delivered countless controversial episodes, giving it a bad rep with parents and media alike. Whether graphic violence makes your mom squirm or the lewd sexual behaviors make you blush, you should definitely save the show to watch alone or with friends.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the
Alrighty, man. I can't argue with this list. Some shows I haven't watched, like Happy Tree Friends. I never watched. The one with Mr. Pickles. I never watched that one. Pause. No Diddy. Let's see here. Big Mouth. Never caught my attention, so, and I'm still not gonna watch it because it's just never caught my attention. I didn't know that Spawn had a cartoon though. I want to check that out. See here, I've never watched the episode of Rick and Morty in my life and never will. Super Gel, never heard of it. Stripperella, never heard of it. I'm pretty sure this was a Spike TV show. If I had to guess, this had to be a Spike TV show. The Boys had a cartoon series. I don't even want to tap into that. Eon Flux, never heard of it. I know about Metal Apocalypse. Archer, I tried to get into it, just too slow for me. I didn't know Harley Quinn had a. I never knew Harley Quinn had a show. Never knew that. Never knew that. Never knew Harley Quinn had a show. I might look into that. But anyway, so that's just gonna about do it for this one, man. Probably the show that I got in trouble for watching the most was more than likely South Park. South Park was the main show I got in trouble for watching. I don't care. But anyway, so let's just go about do it for this one. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, peace out.